how much money did we get that supplier overnight with a renegotiation to pay our client?
Over $400,000. And it's just another example of our clients asking quality questions, but also are the people that they're paying within their business that they trust, the friends, the colleagues, the in-laws that are doing the books, that are they, and they're actually doing what's best for them for where they want to go.
I'm sitting here with Matt, who runs our platform business, which is literally our engineering and blueprinting business for the business owners that want us to architect and build out their business strategy. Matt, you've been with us. Introduce yourself. Tell everyone about yourself.
Yeah, so Matt Hendricks, I started December 2020, came out of large-scale operations, was going to go get my master's and start my own business. Found you on YouTube, started to learn some entrepreneurship from you, and then found out you guys were right in my backyard in Vancouver, Washington. Fast track to now, senior director of the department, came through the department, overseeing the department, and moving my entire family down here in 2 weeks.
How big is your team now?
My team, total team, all of our supportive pieces, right about 30 team members.
32. And so, which is crazy because 2 years ago, there's probably 3.
Yeah, and I was employee 35.
And you were employee 35 of the company.
Yeah.
And today we have 250 some odd employees between our companies. So pretty crazy growth, huh? But one of the things that it's done for you is elevated your belief about what's possible. If we can do it, our clients can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in charge of engineering the blueprint for our clients with your teams of people. Talk a little bit about what that blueprinting process is so people understand how extensive it is.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we try to get our clients to understand when they first start with us in platform is this is going to be like anything you've ever done before, because we're going to ask the quality of questions that you're not asking yourself, that you've never been around anybody else to ask you. And so we're going through day in and day out, really qualifying and quantifying everything that you say. You might tell us you have really good financial data, but we're going to dig into it. We're going to find the opportunities in it. We're going to find the holes in it. You might think you're tracking your customer data, fantastic, but who's actually validating the data? Who's scrubbing the data to make sure it's showing what you think it's actually showing? And so we just go through every nook and cranny in these businesses, and we find all the blind spots, all the holes. And then while have a team of 20 plus in the background analyzing that data, finding out where the true market opportunity is for these clients, we're taking and saying we're plugging all these strategic holes, so we're building momentum as they go forward.
How gratifying is it for you to know? Because you've run probably, I think, through the platforming process, I think it's about $500 million in businesses.
Yeah, it's pretty astronomical, because once we get going with our clients and we start probing and qualifying, quantifying, and digging deeper, we start to show them the opportunity right away. We're showing them traction right away. They're seeing the business move forward right away. And so their belief of what everybody's told them they can't do, they can. And then as they start to be better leaders with that belief, it starts to filter through their entire team. And now they've got the entire support of my team taking every opportunity that pops up, every yield left or right in the business where they could choose 2 different paths. They've got our team of 30 strong that's supporting them every step of the way, so that they know that I'm not in a vacuum making decisions anymore. I need to go to this massive target. I've never done it, but I'm with people that have not only done it themselves with the teams we've assembled, but also have engineered it for 300 plus clients as well. The impact that business being the vehicle to support families within the business, communities around the business, and then all the lives that they touch, the impact is bigger than just the one business we're working on. And so that's something that every day that myself and the team talks about is what's the value that we're driving, because that value is multiplied. By every business we touch, they have hundreds of families and lives that they get impact as well.
So for someone listening to this show and they're like, oh, how serious do they take their client success? I mean, we do sit around as an organization and acknowledge the fact that by impacting one business owner who has a team of 10 or 50 or 100, we're actually impacting thousands of people, because it's in that community. And when it works, it multiplies.
Yeah, I think there's something about not just being the person that you need, but being the person that other people can rely on. And that's what Cardone Ventures does. That's what the platform team does. I mean, every single account manager, every marketing manager, every finance manager, our entire data team, all the support staff and analysts that we have, everybody is there in a moment's notice. We were up till 1 a.m. on a group call the other day trying to solve something for one of our clients, because there was just something going on in the business and the client had no idea. and they were throwing their hands up asking for help. And so we were all on the call 1:30 in the morning, addressing it, giving action plans so that when they were up in the morning, they had it in their inbox, ready to connect with us the next morning to start moving forward.
Man, if you just heard what he said, I wonder how many entrepreneurs. Remember that out of 31.5 million small to mid-sized businesses under 100, 125 million, 97% of those businesses statistically fail every 10 years. 2/3 fail in the first 5 years. The one thing that I'm most proud of is having the vision to build an organization that's there for those people when they need it. So, if people are curious, like, how do I make a massive shift in my business or in my life? It's by choosing to do something different tomorrow than what you're doing today that you did yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard you say it a lot, like change happens organically. Growth happens intentionally. And when a client is intentional in working with us, and our team every day is intentional in pushing on them to improve, to implement, to restructure, not just as dismissing what we've done to this point, but knowing, hey, to do the massive impact you want to see in your business and to do the massive impact you want to see in your family, personally, professionally, financially, it's going to take intentional change. And that to me is where we can really see the biggest shifts, is when we make that intentional decision, not just, it'll happen, or we'll see, or play in the victim card of any seasonality or anything you want to throw out.
And the thing that is fun for us is when we actually, with the research team, find, and I think it's Sharon Lecter's book, 3 Feet from Gold, where we actually find for one of these businesses a main vein that has hidden gold and they didn't even know it was there, and then we get to tell them. How good does that feel?
Fantastic. I mean, it's like a client that you look into their financials and you pinpoint something that looks off, and we dig in and you find $400,000 that we need to get back in their hands. And then when they get it back in their hands, they're looking at us going, how did you guys just do what you did? It's just the quality of the team, it's the quality of the work, and it's the quality of the questions that we go through.
So Matt, one of the things we hear all the time when people hear the price tag for platforming the business is, I just don't have the money for it. And so I want to ask you, statistically, of the 400 platforms that we've done, how many people start the platform process and then have to quit because we haven't helped them find the money for it?
That's an intriguing question because it's two parts, I would say. But less than 2% of our clients that come into us have we ever seen come out because we could not overcome the price piece for them and the investment piece for them. But it's less than that when you take out the clients that were resistant to letting our team actually work. It's few and far between, very infrequent.
And so we could sit here and come up with an example. Like one guy I can think of, I can't remember if it was Savvy and Sons that started. They were 2 months into the program, and we're like, something doesn't make sense in your EBITDA, your earnings algorithm, your cash flow algorithm. And they're like, no, everything, this is what it's always been, and my best friend run the books, and blah, blah, boo-boo, DDD. And so we're like, can you give us the passwords to the books? So we go in and do our audit, which is going to be much more than just trusting your buddy. And how much money did we find that had been stolen out of that business?
7 figures.
7 figures.
Yep.
And the platform cost them $200,000, and we got 7 figures back immediately because the theft had been going on in the business to a huge tune. How many times do we find theft in a business?
More than we would like to say, because people trust the wrong people. They've abdicated out those processes. But when we find it early. This is the first thing we dive into is the financials, because the financials aren't stable and the backbone of the business, then the owner's not actually owning a business. They're just riding the wave and hoping it keeps working week after week.
So when there's theft, that's an easy one to fix. And then I think of another example that just happened. Somebody joined us. We're doing their books, isolating out the way we look at books. In this particular case, we found when we audited the supply agreement to this client that they had a negotiated discount structure. And we found in one of the primary revenue sources, the supplier, the way they were doing the invoicing made it look like they were accessing their discount. But when we actually broke it out, we said, you're not getting your discount on this particular product.
That was their highest velocity product.
And it was their highest growth area. How much money did we get that supplier overnight with a renegotiation to pay our client?
Over $400,000. And it's just another example of our clients asking quality questions, but also are the people that they're paying within their business that they trust, the friends, the colleagues, the in-laws that are doing the books, that are they, and they're actually doing what's best for them for where they want to go, not just what's been going. And the same things happen when we found theft. Started with a little bit, and then that little bit kept getting increased because they just didn't see it because they trusted the person. So they had just abdicated. They weren't going back and inspecting what they expected. They had no safety checks in the financial operations of the business. There was no two-part signers. There was no verifications. It was just give me my reports at the end of the month, or even worse at the quarter, or even worse than that, make sure my taxes are in before I have to pay a penalty. Every client's business, their market, their challenges, their budgets, everything's unique. And so that's where we can always find where the money is either not coming from or where it's going that it shouldn't be going from or going to.
The business owners that combined coming out of the 360, then platforming, and then have us walk them step by step by step with 10X owner, 10X employee, your team. As they deploy the new things they learn, they're talking in real time about the impact and what's happening and making minor adjustments. Because here's the thing that I always remind people: just because you did something and then you go, it didn't work, it doesn't mean you did that thing right.
Right.
You were probably doing it wrong. And when you have a sounding board to say, well, this is how I tried it, they're like, no, you got to make a minor adjustment. Then all of a sudden it sticks and it works and they get traction and they start moving faster. And it's, first of all, nothing's fun doing it by yourself. Secondly, you're still kind of navigating around all the dynamics, politics, lethargic environment, all this stuff, versus having a coach every day reminding you why you're doing it, where you're going to, what the opportunity is, and how to get there faster. So, your team does such a remarkable job with that. And I just want to say from me to you, so proud to have you on the team. You're killing it, dude.
Appreciate you.